Hello peeps, it's Roni Blanche back again for another installation of Life Be Crazy. I've been gone for a little while. I actually was going to not do any more videos. It seemed stupid, nobody was watching. But I got a really nice message from a kindred kind spirit named Rhonda that said she enjoyed one of my videos and it made her feel more normal with some of the things she was going through. So here I am. I'm back. I'm going to do another one. If you would like to continue to see them, please post a like or a share or a comment, something just to let me know somebody out there is listening and watching. So tonight we're back to my book, Life Be Crazy, So Why Should I Be Sane? And this is the chapter called Who the Hell Am I? It was originally written in the summer of 2013. I will be referencing my sister Kay a lot in the story. So here is a picture of me and Sister Kay when we crashed a holiday party a couple of Christmases ago. She's the one in the wicked cool hat. She can rock a hat like nobody else. So here we go. Who the hell am I? My sister Kay and I were hanging out the other day, and out of the blue she says, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't fit in anywhere. I'm not young, but I'm not old either. So who the hell am I? My first thought was, is menopause bitch slapping her too? Woo! Because that hormone-robbing hag, menopause, not my sister, had been smacking me around pretty hard lately. But the more we talked, the more I understood that her quandary had nothing to do with menopause, and realized I felt exactly the same way. Middle age is no woman's land. Halfway between birth and death, we hope, being in our 40s and 50s is confusing and frustrating. We literally are not young anymore, nor are we old, except that we do seem old to those that are really young. When we were young, things were much simpler. Being young meant having big fun and little responsibility, like working part-time, slinging burgers at the Tasty Freeze, and hanging out with your friends at the drive-in movie, singing, we go together like rama-lama-lama, ka-dink-a-dink-a-donk, at the top of our lungs while watching Grease for the gazillionth time, and forgetting what piddly worries we might have by topping off our big gulp drink with Everclear, or taking a hit or two off of a passed-around joint. Just don't mix the two unless you want to end up buzzed off your butt in the back seat of your date's car. Take my word on this. It meant cruising in the nearest big town to check out cute boys and blasting your newest Loverboy cassette tape. With gas at only 79 cents a gallon back then, driving up and down Kearney Street, that was the preferred cruising spot in the metropolis of Springfield near where I lived. Cruising all night long was cheap entertainment. We youngins wore bell-bottom Levi's and feathered hair, drove Pintos or Vegas or VW Bugs, parked on country roads to make out with our sweeties, then snuck in past curfew with hickeys that we tried to pass off as curling iron burns the next morning when our parents asked, what the hell is that? We knew we weren't old because old folks had bursitis and mortgages. They smoked pipes and cigars and drank nasty instant coffee, and they went to church socials or PTA meetings for fun. Oldsters wore polyester pants, knee-high hose that bagged at the ankles, and spongy-soled shoes. The aging ladies got their perms or weekly wash-and sets at the beauty parlor. The geriatric gentlemen drove around in tank-like Buicks and Plymouths, and the closest those two got to making out was a goodnight peck on the cheek. Some of those old people may have even been in their 40s, but they sure seemed ancient to us. It was simple then. When you got to be a certain age, you dressed and acted your age. But no more. If you could meet my sister Kay, headed toward the far side of 40 herself, you would see she is the antithesis of old. Dark chocolate hair swinging in a cheese-sleeked Rachel Dew, body-hugging shirts and sequin-pocketed jeans showing off her curvaceousness, a mishmash of Christian and biker chick tattoos decorating her arms and legs. She rode a Harley until it finally went kaput, and she says wicked cool about everything. No way could she be described as old. In outward appearance, I'm definitely not as wicked cool as she, but I'm still wearing lowrider jeans without sporting a belly-flopping hangover or a plumber's crack. The funky cap-toed sneakers and peace sign earrings that I wear as my signature look give me a youthful flair, and the only polyester pants that have ever been on these thighs were part of the Kentucky Fried Chicken uniform I wore to work during my college days. Those pants were mandatory, and I hated them. Okay, so our look is still in the young-ish realm. Cool. What about our actions? Sister Kay has teenage boys, which brings with it the requisite mommy baggage, but that's not all she's about. Besides making a living driving a school bus like an expert truck rodeoer, I'll bet she's the sexiest bus driver those adolescent boys ever had, and provides fodder for many of their under-the-sheet fantasies. She is also a faux painting diva, wine blend connoisseur, disco dancer extraordinaire, and super seamstress. She creates and wears these diaphanous ponchos, blinged out with sparkles and feathery trim, that can turn the most blah outfit into party wear. I'm not kidding. She also saved my favorite Gap jeans from ending up in the trash by adding these zazzy flame patches to the threadbare knees. I get more compliments on those ancient jeans than anything else in my closet. Sister Kay can do it all, and she does. The Energizer Bunny on steroids couldn't keep up with her. She is definitely not living the oldster life. Me, I'm not so talented or creative, but I do try. I try everything to try and find that one thing that's going to be my thing. Here's the I tried short list. Playing the guitar, the harmonica, the keyboard, and the bongos. I swear I've got the music in me, I just can't make it come out. I worked as a massage therapist, a real one, not a quasi-hooker masseuse. Being a beach babe, I loved it, but I couldn't afford it forever, and I tried skateboarding. I still have my pintail longboard I call Pinky, and she's gorgeous, with hot pink wheels and her underside decorated with groovy stickers like, "I'm not perfect, but parts of me are incredible." B-Man actually bought that sticker for me, so I couldn't not use it, right? I mostly look at Pinky these days, spending my spare time writing instead of boarding. But I could write her if I got the urge. And if I got health insurance. Definitely health insurance, just in case. And I don't spend all my day discussing my aches and pains and surgeries, planning my next meal at the senior discount buffet, or knitting afghans for gifts that will be hidden in a closet until I come for a visit. So me and Sister Kay don't look old, at least fashion-wise, and we don't act old. Then why the hell can't we figure out who the hell we are? As I pondered this, I remembered my grandmother Helen saying to me, "Honey, I don't feel old. My body may be falling apart and I may look old, but I don't feel it. Not inside, anyway." Bazinga! Grandma was one of the wisest women I knew. I realize I don't feel old, at least not on the inside. My body sure feels 49 part 2. I can't admit to being 50, not yet, so I'm doing 49 again, and again, and again. Some days it feels more like 69 part 2, but my insides still feel like 24, tops. Sister Kay had her own bazinga moment when I asked her how old she felt. "That's it," she said. "My body may feel like I'm in my late 30s, but my spirit is still 21. I think like a kid. That's why I'm more comfortable around kids than people my own age. I've got the wisdom of an older person with a younger spirit." She's pretty sharp, Sister Kay. Well, that's true for me as well. While I don't do little kids, I'll get those fingers right one of these times, do little kids, I never had any, I never wanted any, and no, I don't babysit, no matter how cute you say the little devil is. No. I feel simpatico hanging with 20-somethings way more than oldsters. I try not to be an old age bigot, but I have a phobia about visiting senior citizen habitats ever since my 45th birthday. My parents, bless their well-meaning hearts, got sick of me bitching about getting older and surprised me with a birthday lunch at the senior center to experience what being old was really like. The senior center for my birthday. The place where everyone had blue hair or no hair at all. The hot topic around the table was who had what removed, and the drill sergeant type center director spent 10 whole minutes lecturing the lunchers on the proper protocol for the new self-serve salad bar, as if they were idiots. Needless to say, I don't mention aging around my parents anymore, or let them take me out for lunch on my birthday. Excuse me, gotta have a sip of wine. A little parched. To get a broader view, I asked others, how old do you feel outside versus inside question? And it seems almost universal that the disparity between body age and spirit age keeps our minds totally bepuzzled. Most people reported feeling younger in spirit than in body, and the older the person, the wider the gap between the two. Excuse me, some examples. Roberta. Her body feels 60-ish, but her spirit feels 23, 24, and she's in her 50s. Mikey. His body feels 50, spirit feels 30, and he's in his 50s. Deb said her body feels 45. Her spirit feels 23, and she's also in her 50s. And Eli. His body feels 35. His spirit feels 20, and he's actually in his 20s. Now, the ages are approximate here. I'm not out to out anyone's real age. So I got a sample from some people that I knew, and they were all kind of on the same page with me. But I wanted to better understand the disparity and the reason behind it. So I asked my sweetie D-Man for his opinion. D-Man said, I guess I feel under 40 all over. If I tried to do things I did when I was 30, I'd probably feel older. But I don't try to do those things anymore. And D-Man is older than I am. I do love him to death, but sometimes I just want to wring his neck to choke off his Pollyanna attitude that makes me feel like his old lady. Plus, his answer didn't help my understanding one damn bit. Then I tried asking Mom and Daddy to tell me their body versus spirit opinion to use for something I was writing. Boy, was that a big mistake. Woo! All I got was righteous rantings as if they were having their 15 minutes of fame on the Oprah show. In a nutshell, Mama's version was, wake up every day with a sunny outlook and you'll feel your best no matter what age you are. And Daddy spouted off on, I've worked hard all my life and I damn well deserve to feel how old I feel. Until I finally gave up. Good intentions on their part, I'm sure, but that was no help to me at all. Looks like I'm on my own to explain the who am I disconnect. Could it be that our bodies keep on aging, but our spirits hold at some prime time when we were at our peak? That's how my memory seems to work anyway. It must have peaked sometimes in the 1970s, because I can sing every dad-blame word of the Green Acres theme song, but I can't remember when I last changed my sheets. See, that song is playing in my head right now. Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. My sheets? I don't have a clue how long they've been on the bed. I guess it's time for the sniff test. Or else to start writing it on the calendar, along with everything else I need to remember and often forget. If the spirit peak supposition is true, it sounds like the name of a Big Bang Theory episode, doesn't it? If the spirit peak supposition is true, then maybe what we see as middle-aged crazy isn't crazy at all. That paunchy, balding man with the newly implanted hair plugs, who blew his entire retirement savings on a convertible to impress some bimbo, is only acting his spirit age. which locked in as a testosterone-fueled teenager with the hots for topless Corvettes and boobalicious 22-year-old blondes. And maybe a lot of oldsters diagnosed with senility are perfectly fine. Their spirit just chose to hang out at an age when having a teddy bear as their lunch companion and calling everyone Mama feels right. Life was much nicer with a cuddly friend and your mama around all the time, wasn't it? Or could it be that the way we feel inside reflects our true soul age in cosmic terms? What if there is no arrested spirit development involved? What if no matter how old we get to be, or how many times our soul gets to hang out in bodily form, if you believe in that sort of thing, which I do, but don't tell Mama. She'll think I'm going straight to hell. What if forever we'll stay at our unique and perfect soul age? That sounds right to me, and my Uncle Jesse is a prime example of why. He's on the express train to turning 87 and lives in a nursing home due to Parkinson's disease and the residual effects of several mild strokes. Yet his soul is forever youthful. Those honey brown eyes of his exude orneriness. Orneriness. He may not be able to get a forkful of peas to his mouth without spilling half, but he is still the biggest flirt I've ever known, and the best. He's got every female in that facility wrapped around his little finger, and they love it. He wisecracks. He plays practical jokes. His soul isn't a day over 25. It never has been, never will be, and it fits him perfectly. Now I understand why most folks I talk to feel like they are in their 20s or 30s on the inside, no matter what their birth date says. If all souls were kid souls, the world would be one giant messy playground, and nothing would get accomplished without bribes of milk and cookies. If oldsters dominated, the world would be nothing but a global AARP convention of, oh, my aching whatever woes, and remember when life was better bitch fests. At least our 20 or 30-something souls still have hope enough to believe we can make the world better. The energy to keep plugging away until we do, and the smarts to have some fun along the way. So, who the hell am I? After careful consideration, I've decided that I'm a 24-year-old soul making the best in a life of a 49 part 2 or 3 or 4-year-old body. Let's see, what was my life like at 24? I was a newly single gal after the breakup of my first marriage, with my very own place and a decent paying job. When I wasn't working hard or sleeping soundly, I was boogieing with my sisters every chance I got, wearing jean miniskirts and fringy short boots, drinking beer by the pitcher, and partying with good friends, partying often. Hell, if that was 24, being 24 forever, I can live with that. Hope you've enjoyed the latest installment, Who the Hell Am I? And please post or comment or like or share or something to know that I know, so that I know somebody out there is watching. And cheers. Have a good night.